Not only was Donald Trump's debate performance on Tuesday evening bad for his campaign, but according to an actual psychiatrist, it may have been exceptionally bad for his mental health because he put his symptoms on display for everyone in this country to see. But this psychiatrist, who, by the way, it is Professor Richard Friedman, director of the psychopharmacology clinic at Weill Cornell Medical College, he said that it's not just that Trump showed these symptoms. He believes that Donald Trump needs to go and get a neurological exam as quickly as possible because of the symptoms that he recognized. And again, he's a professor. He is obviously a doctor. He is the director of the entire psychopharmacology unit at college. He knows what he is talking about. This is what he has spent his career doing. And here is what he recognized as those red flags. Trump's expressions of those tendencies were alarming. He displayed some striking, if familiar, patterns that are commonly seen among people in cognitive decline. He was, of course, referring to Trump's repetitive speech patterns, which the psychiatrist argued did not represent a political tactic, but a worrying compulsion. Friedman quoted at length Trump's response to a question as to whether he held any lingering regrets after the Capitol riots on January 6th, which, of course, Trump said this: "I have said bath. It was a different term, and it was a term that related to energy because they have destroyed our energy business. That was where bloodbath was. Also on Charlottesville, that story has been, as you would say, debunked. Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, Jesse, all of these people, they covered it. If they go an extra sentence, they will see it was perfect." Friedman explained that such circumstantial and tangential speech can reflect the inability to engage in logical thinking and argued Trump is losing control of his own tics. Another such tic, his repetition or perseverance, can be a sign of serious short-term memory loss, according to Friedman. Quote, "People tend to stick to familiar topics over and over when they experience an impairment in cognitive functioning, for instance, in short-term memory. Given the complexity of the job of being president, short-term memory is a vital skill." And then he goes in with the hardest part. "If a patient presented to me with the verbal incoherence, tangential thinking, and repetitive speech that Trump now regularly demonstrates, I would almost certainly refer them for a rigorous neuropsychiatric evaluation to rule out a cognitive illness. A condition such as vascular dementia or Alzheimer's disease would not be out of the ordinary for a 78-year-old. For those who do have such diseases or conditions, several treatments and services exist to help them and their loved ones cope with their decline. But that does not mean any of them would be qualified to serve as commander-in-chief." Again, a mental health professional who knows what they are talking about. He didn't say cognitive decline. He said what I've been saying, and I'm not a trained professional, but he said cognitive illness, a disease, vascular dementia, perhaps Alzheimer's. This is a man who is trained to recognize the symptoms and diagnose them. And while he made abundantly clear in his piece here that he wrote that he was not diagnosing Donald Trump and that he has not examined Donald Trump, of course, but he said, if somebody came into my office and this is what they were, if they were Donald Trump, we're going in for a neuropsychiatric evaluation because I believe this person has a serious illness. And then we move on to the treatment of the illness. So there you have it. The experts are speaking. The experts are in agreement. Something is wrong with Donald Trump that goes far beyond just decline associated with age. And if you're not going to take my word for it, then at the very least, listen to the experts. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.